Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you want to get the absolute most out of the new AI models, right? Like Claude 4? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive deep into a completely new way of thinking about prompts because, let's be honest, the old tricks just aren't cutting it anymore.
Does this look familiar? You ask the AI for something cool, something complex, maybe a user interface or a tricky bit of code, and what you get back is, well, it's fine, It's not amazing. If that's you, you are definitely not alone. And it turns out there's a really good reason this keeps happening.
And here's the thing you absolutely have to understand. These latest models, they're not just a simple update. They represent a huge shift. They've been trained to follow instructions with incredible precision. That means they take you super literally. So to get those mind-blowing, above and beyond results we all want, we have to change our entire game.
All right, so let's get right into it. Section 1, the new rules of prompting. Think of these as the new foundation you need to build on from here on out.
The number one rule is so simple, but so important. You have to be incredibly explicit. With the older models, you could kind of hint at what you wanted and they'd try to fill in the blanks. These new ones, nope. If you don't ask for it, you're probably not going to get it. You have to spell everything out. Just look at this example. It shows you exactly what I'm talking about. The first prompt, create an analytics dashboard, is basically a roll of the dice. You'll get something, sure, but it'll likely be basic. But look at the second one. By specifically saying go beyond the basics and asking for a fully featured implementation, you're not just hoping for great work, you're commanding it. Okay, principle number 2 is all about adding context. This isn't just about telling the AI what to do. It's about telling it why. When you explain the motivation, the reason behind your request, it helps the model make smarter choices and apply the rule more broadly. And wow, this example just hits it home perfectly. Just saying never use ellipses might work, but by giving it the reason that a text-to-speech engine is going to read it, the AI gets it. It understands the real constraint. It's smart enough to connect the dots and understand the real rule, which leads to way more reliable results. Okay, so you've got the basics down. Now, let's level up. We're talking about really complex, multi-step stuff now, the kind of tasks that go on for a long time. And this is where these new models just blow the old ones out of the water. So what makes this possible? A key feature is something called context awareness. The best way to think about this is like a fuel gauge for its memory. Claude knows exactly how much space it has left, its token budget. And because it knows this, it can plan ahead on huge projects and figure out when it needs to save its work. And here's the cool part. You can actually tap into this. This prompt right here, it is an absolute game changer for those massive long-term projects. You're basically giving the AI permission to manage its own memory. You're telling it, hey, when you're about to run out of room, just save everything and keep on trucking. It's what lets it work on a problem pretty much indefinitely. So what does that actually look like when you're doing it? Well, here's a simple workflow. Step 1, in your very first prompt, you get it to set up the whole project. Write the tests, create the scripts, the whole shebang. After that, every new prompt is just about checking items off the to-do list. And the really crucial part, step 3, is giving it tools so it can check its own work. That's the secret to making it truly autonomous. Now, to make all this work, you've got to have a way to manage the state, right? To save its progress. This table breaks down your best options. JSON is perfect for structured stuff, like test results. A simple text file is great for just jotting down notes on what it's done. And for serious checkpointing in history, nothing beats Git. Claude 4.5 is actually really good at using Git logs to figure out where it left off. Okay, time to shift gears. Let's blast through some pro tips for specific tasks. These are the little tweaks that make a huge difference in the quality of what you get back. First up, how it uses tools. You get to decide if you want it to be more conservative or more proactive. You can tell it, hey, when you're not sure, just ask me first. Or you can go the proactive route and say, look, just figure out what I probably want and go for it. The power is yours, but you have to tell it what to do. Getting the format of your output just right is a big one. So a few quick tips here. First, always give positive instructions. Instead of don't use bullet points, say write in full paragraphs. Second, use XML tags to structure your output clearly. Third, remember that it's a mirror. If you write a formal prompt, you'll get a formal answer. And finally, the more detail you give it, the less likely it is to fill the space with messy markdown.
How about turning Claude into an incredible research assistant? Well, here's the 4-step recipe. First, tell it what a good answer looks like. Second, make it check its sources. Third, for really tough questions, have it come up with a few different theories. And fourth, make it rate its own confidence and critique its own work. Do this, and it goes from a search engine to an analysis engine.
All right, for all you developers out there building UIs, we all want to avoid those boring generic templates, right? So, explicitly tell it to be creative. Give it a specific color palette or font style. Ask it to mix 2 different design styles together. And don't forget to ask for the little things, like cool animations or interactions. Now, this is maybe one of the most important tips for anyone using AI to write code. You have to stop it from just cheating to pass the tests. This quote is something you should seriously consider putting in your prompts. You want a general solution that actually works, not something brittle that's just hard-coded to pass a specific test. Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, from the absolute basics to some really pro-level stuff. Let's pull it all together into your new playbook. Look, if you walk away with just one thing today, make it this. It all boils down to 3 words: specificity, context, and structure. Be specific about what you want. Give it context for why you want it, and give it a solid structure to work with. You master these 3 things, you'll master these new models. It's that simple. And remember, this isn't just theory. These are practical tools designed to help you build bigger and better things. So I guess the only question left is, now that you have the playbook, what are you going to build?